man. Your mic muted.
Good night, good night. It's supposed to come off automatically. I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. But anyway, I was
Yo,
saying
we
good
must be
night.
more about to move. Like, go
Good night,
Come
everybody,
on,
and welcome back to Island Fellas. What more you say? More, you
I'm
know, more. We put you back early notice. You know how no chat for gear tonight. None talk.
who don't have no.
Cause you get
We
relegated.
can chat.
So I don't want to
We
hear.
can chat.
I don't want to hear you tonight too much. Early and
But we
bright.
can't
Watch
get
this man.
relegated.
Watch this man. 4 losers on the screen. Get Memphis on the show. Memphis is them a waste man now. Definitely. Definitely. Yes, I fellas looking forward to it. That's Tuko in the comments, jumping in there. But like I was saying, good night, fellas. Sound like he's sipping on a cup of tea up there. You got Joe in the building and the forever. Well, let me not say the forever. The sad boy them is down there at the bottom. Let me just switch
That's
this around so that we in a card to the league
ahead.
team. Let me just put everybody in the right position. All right. So let's start there because let's not dilly dally around it. We know the news that broke today. Let's touch on that. We're gonna touch on Moy. We're gonna start with Moy. We're gonna start with Moy first. Moy, how you feeling when the news? How was you feeling when the news broke? How you feeling now? All these allegations that they're putting out. This can happen. That can happen. What are you feeling?
nothing. I believe that Carl do. We're putting our best foot, lawyers, everybody front foot. I saw some reports coming out from my team. I trust that what they're doing unless I'm trusting them for the process and I remain faithful at everything. That, we ain't break any rules and whatnot. Until if Premier League gets to the money to win, then the stand will change. But as for now, we're back in my club 100%.
How you feel? Do you feel as if y'all broke any rules? I know you're innocent and still proven guilty, but how do you feel about it? Your honest opinion.
Honestly, right? I I really don't know as to say because you see in all kind of things being came out. See they charge Man City with the height of the grass and all them things and so also. But you see reports saying that and I guess why it's tricky because, you know, even if Man City is fighting back with it, it's going to take basically another 5 years again, be- to trash out all these things. So yeah, I don't think anything. Even if there's something I know they said that it has to be like more than half, for anything serious to happen. I'm not saying maybe there's probably one or two things that probably slipped on. If it's like the last time it was just communication issue, then it shouldn't be anything big. It's just a slap on the wrist again, and you continue to move.
It's interesting. It's really interesting because I think it's 100 and something charges, or 100 charges over a number of years.
Yeah.
Me, two of the fellas are saying, "Hey, look, man, sorry for them." This is what Jolly is saying. Sorry for them, especially Munchie, and then Munchie, everybody want Munchie head because y'all the talk powerful. Them need forget Boosie. Boosie, who's that? Who is it?
Oh, I
Yeah,
think that.
yeah, you know, Boosie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, watch that kind
Boosie.
of content, they shot.
Okay, all
Boosie, the
right.
boss.
So yeah,
Wow.
everybody else would know though. Boosie lawyer.
I
All right,
mean,
still say good night, good night. City sink themselves with more revenue than Man United and and Real Madrid. It's like it's like what it sounds like. City really don't need to cheat on the test because they know the answers, but then they still end up and cheat and now they get caught and they're in trouble. Joe, what's your take on all of this?
personally, I feel like I didn't make anything big of it. I saw the whole, they could get banned from the league, relegated from the league, points deduction, and yada, 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 and all of that. But personally, I didn't really buy into it much because it was kind of the same thing they said the first time, and they got out of it. And then it takes you 4 years to come back
Yeah.
and basically try to attack them again. And the fact that you have to bring 100 charges and you can't just pinpoint and stipulate the things that they're really guilty for. I feel like you've just basically put everything that you can find together, and now you're basically just hoping that you can get enough to stick so you can do whatever it is you want to do. Because a lot of, especially the older heads, blame teams like City for ruining football, according to them, and that kind of stuff. So, but personally, I think they'll beat it. I think the most will happen, they'll probably get maybe some big fine, because I'm sure at least a couple of them could stick, but probably not enough to do this major thing that everybody thinks is going to happen. So I think they'll probably maybe get a fine and at most a transfer ban for maybe a season, if anything.
All right. You see, with this, I fully get what you're saying there, Joe. And in one breath, you hear a lot of talk, Cello, about a lot of people saying, something needs to be done, something needs to be done, do this and do that, crack down on this, crack down on that. But now that you think that they're doing it, it seems like we're at an impasse, whether or not something will really happen if there's any truth to any of these statements.
Sure.
True.
In the world today, yeah, and money talk no. And money talk no. Here and here, they always have a loophole in anything you do here. They always and we forget on anything you do here. Man City owners and them have their money. Okay, when me see the news this morning, me say to myself, yeah, Man City walk out of this year. These are just some little, some for just try to make it look bad on them behalf, but them man have their money. Them man get wrong this year.
Yeah, facts, because a lot of people were criticizing the Premier League that they weren't doing anything about it. Because remember, UEFA was dealing with it, right? And basically then walk with scratch free from the stuff with UEFA. But then what people were saying is like, okay, the Premier League should also do something against them too, because the Premier League also has their own FFP rules and all of these things. So they should do something too. So, and then people were saying, the Premier League is weak, and then the man basically not the owners for go up against City and whatnot and whatnot. So, to be honest, I think this whole thing could just be a smoke screen all in all, so they can turn around and say, hey, we tried. So, we can't say that they didn't do anything.
The thing is, right, Bucky, if you're gonna charge me for something that happened 10 years ago, I'm gonna wait so long.
Well, it was an investigation. I mean, then they needed to bring, because what I heard from, I think Joe sent it in the group. The Sky Sports reporter was saying, it was a guy who leaked, who
I was watching that too.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when that whole thing happened.
And then he leaked a lot of things. So from that, they started to look deeper into these football clubs. So they've been building a case.
But
even
right.
Somebody hacking that situation like that is not even evidence for them. So it just look shameful on their part, because you ain't do anything. It took a hacker to try to expose us for then you to do something.
I mean, but in truth, more you can't. The thing is with the hacker, I mean, why the investigation is what it is now is because if it is true, and this is going to be my next question, if it is true, it means the City were cooking the books, especially when it came to I think they had some issue with Mancini, where Manchester City as the club were only paying a portion of Mancini's salary, and then something in Abu Dhabi or Qatar was paying another piece. So then
basically Mancini had one salary under Manchester City, which he was getting paid, that he agreed to and whatever, and they put that on the books. But behind the scenes, what they're saying is that there was some other club in Abu Dhabi that he was also employed by that were paying him basically under the table as well. Right. So he was making over 2 times what they had on the books that he was making. Yeah, right. And all of that. Yeah.
But the thing is with this, right, Moy? The thing is with this, right? You see, evidence go different ways. You understand? If what the hacker say, some do go so, and he can prove that some do go so, then can take charge because they have some that they can show what they charge for. If you understand me, see. So evidence go different ways. If you understand me, see.
Yeah, Russell, I hear you, but I heard also a statement saying that they can't really, legal obligations, they can't really go full send on what the hacker did, because it's basically kind of illegal still because you're hacking
I-
into my system to see what you do. So then that can't really full send on that. Okay.
illegal, yes, but they have proof. They have proof
Right,
that
and that's why
somebody actually
the Premier League did their own investigation because
understand
they
me say
can't go after the hackers.
illegal, yes, right more, but they have proof. They have proof to say, okay, this is what then they do, despite the hacker hacking into the system. You understand what I say?
That'd be circumstantial though.
Yeah, some
All right,
Portuguese hacker. 'Cause basically, what my boy do, right? My boy hack into the systems of all the big clubs in them, and I think what happened is, I think he got caught, and basically, as a part of like the agreement for basically like you know minimize whatever penalty he could get,
See your
part of the
face, yeah.
agreement was that everything that he found, he had to hand it over
Hand it over,
to
yeah.
the authorities and so on. So then that now is what launched this whole thing. The man start looking to Juventus, Barca, everybody.
all right.
But
Julie,
Black,
listen.
even if some come out to this, yeah, you know, gonna be like them get kick out the lead or get number. And them man gonna spare money, man. They gonna give them
Okay,
a
all
big
right.
fine.
Hold that thought there, Seller. Hold that thought. City empty every week. More revenue? Nah, I'm not seeing that. You want? I want to dig up the average attendance for the past couple of seasons. Me update so you know come with that. Revenue only reason we still a function. They didn't find Madoff guilty until 8 years later. Just for your information, Munchie, we don't want to hear any stats from you. You know, see what the topic be. Y'all the cheats. Y'all probably dope up the seats as well. Cheats, they gotta prove it. Them man just say in 2010 season the grass from a field been too long and them all kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
I
know that
saw
man
that on
black
the
from
stuff.
the throne. But
Yo,
my question for more is just before we go to get into the weekend's activities, if all of this is true, and if the worst should happen, let's say, for argument's sake, 70 out of the 100 charges are true. What happens to Manchester City? Because we hear talks about points deduction, they're going down. What if? Just you probably have you thought about it today? What if my club gets relegated?
I mean, to be clear, I don't know how much what is just the championship we get relegated or they just take us down lower. I never
I
heard
don't
of
know
it.
if there's deducting points and just I don't know.
I know they just mentioned
But
kick.
it would be that they kicked out of the Premier League, and I think they would only go down to the next one. So it's probably just
Yeah,
that.
yeah, so you go to the championship. But then as well, it depends on how many charges stick because you can
Right.
get like what Juventus got years ago. Juventus went down 2 divisions because of the amount of charges they found them
Yeah,
guilty of.
that was match
Be-
fixing.
because here what happened now. Here what happened. They kick you down a division and then they
Right.
still do a point deduction.
Right.
So that is how come Juventus ended up in the second tier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they took
I remember when I had to wear the wheel. It's true.
the previous
Yeah.
title.
Yeah, Suko is making this point.
I
Mm.
mean, just to clarify on it, I mean, if let's just say we're using the Juventus scenario, if that does happen to City, that changes I mean everything as you can see. Because
Mhm.
if they take away the titles thereof, I mean no more Aguero moment has to be there. I mean you're going to remember it that
Imagine,
but
imagine.
is going to be there. Last season Gundogan's winner that we jumped up for. All those things would be scratched. But I don't think it would go that far because I think it's kind of harsh because I mean it's crazy because you had different owners there and then transitioning into the owners now. So I don't know. The only thing I could probably see is maybe a slap on the wrist or the points deduction. But yeah, I will go to the championship with them. I always have to support my team.
The
Week in, week
man say you can support Brighton, man. Nobody now go Bex. And Munchie saying, yeah, Haaland. We know Munchie would have jumped ships, by the way. Just making it very clear here. Yeah, Haaland 80 goals in the League One and 92 in the Championship. I doubt they will relinquish the titles from them though.
Yeah, they won't do that. They won't go that far.
imagine you're
Joe,
loading
it's
up.
possible, remember them take away a title from Juventus now. Remember them
Yeah,
take
but
one cup
remember,
for Juventus.
yeah, but remember that was because, like Shaq say, match fixing. City now get charged for match fixing. No, the man doesn't get charged for funds and apparently remember they had like some charge where they said that they were um signing players that were younger, similar to what Chelsea got the transfer ban for, and about them like you put on a contract that you pay one young player, let's say 10 grand a week, but in actuality you give like 60 under the table. But you put it in other ways, so like 30 you go to mommy, 30 you go
Yeah,
to daddy,
it's more
things
it's
like
more,
that.
it's more financial than
Uh-huh.
you're thinking that they're doing something to jeopardize the league or to put themselves in a better position. Okay. All right. So guys, let's go.
Just one last thing to touch on there, sir. To everything, it would be crazy because here in the news first, you wonder like, what's just happening here? Fine here in relegation to the different stuff, and then they even have the quote with Pep coming out saying that, if the owners lie to him, the next day he will just leave, and that adds a whole different perspective on the club and the owners especially. Like, you're backing them 100% everything, and then they just lying behind the scenes, so you can't really trust them. So
I mean, personally, I think if that comes to fruition and Pep is looking for a job, he can come and be Arteta's assistant. I mean, Arteta needs somebody right now to put out them cones.
If that happen, I think Pep go. I think if that happen, Pep goes to international management.
Probably.
I believe he'd probably be finished with club management. I remember he
yeah,
done clearly say that he say what was it 2018 however he had spoken to the club and he came up publicly and said that when all these allegations and so came up, he sat with the club and asked them about it and told them to be honest with him and let him know what is happening. He said based on what they told him, he was satisfied. He believed them and he let them know. Basically, I'm taking your word for it. I'm putting 100% of my trust into what it is you've told me. If it turns out that you've lied to me, I am cutting. I'm done with you. Make about my business, and we will not have any form of relationship.
I mean,
So
fair is fair, right?
yeah, man.
Fair is fair.
I agree with
Um,
you 100%. So
Yeah.
all right, well, guys, let's get. I don't think there's anything else. Is there anything else football related outside of the Premier League? I mean,
uh,
I guess we can touch on the Kane.
they said they found Christian Atsu and so now from all
Well,
the rock.
I saw conflicting reports because another page, the same page I sent it from to you guys, they're saying that's not true. They're still searching for them under the rubble.
And
Yeah, I
they
saw
said
that.
it's two earthquakes hit.
Oh, it's two?
Yeah,
Oh,
both hit. One hit early, and I think they said another one hit.
That's mad though. Yeah, so
fuck.
praise up for them. I think in Turkey, praise up for them
Yeah,
people in
Turkey.
Turkey, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get into it. Let's get into the weekend's game. Of course, we're going to rush over some of those so we can get to the nitty gritty. Of course, as you guys can see, there's one person missing. Munchie's not here, and because City lost, of course, that's why he's not here. I'm just joking. He did say that he has an appointment. He had to switch around his appointment. He said so before the game. So Munchie's not running from the smoke like he has in the past. So more, I think you have the games lined up there for us. I think I can remember this Chelsea Fulham started the
Yeah,
weekend on Friday.
that was the kickoff for us on Friday. The game ended 0-0. With a lot of talkings behind this side.
600 million for no
Yo, did
goals.
y'all watch the game?
I
I
did.
did.
Yo, the game was. To be honest, the game wasn't boring. No, the game for me, the game wasn't boring. It
I
was
really,
just that, and
It's
but to me,
uneventful.
yeah, the game was eventful. But like for Chelsea, yeah, how to put it? I feel like Chelsea drew the game, but there were also a lot of fairly decent bright points. You didn't learn anything in terms of the old players that you didn't already know. For example, Mason Mount and Gallagher. Them man are good
And
enough.
man love jump on man, man.
No, but to the truth, them man are good enough. You understand? I
I
keep
think
telling
for
you, Mason Mount is not a number 10. I'm not saying that he not had talent and he can't be a footballer, but Mason Mount is not a number 10. But then my thing is too, if you're not playing in a number 10 role, where you play? All of the
And
where you don't
also
make
Havertz is not a striker.
that too. Havertz is not a striker either. And then I know I know we and it was the highlight of Twitter that Mudryk got cut at the 45th minute. You know, it was funny
I didn't
because
ask the positive.
at the
This is, you know.
same how I slaughtered Sancho, but at the same time too, I didn't even think it was Mudryk's fault. The man just wasn't involved in the game because the midfield was poor. I
And he was,
even put a tweet on Twitter where I said, "Imagine you buy Enzo, put Enzo on the field for to play midfield in between Mount and Gallagher. That like you take your time, go supermarket, buy the most expensive ground beef them man have. Take your time, cook the ground beef, season them,
I'm
make the
between two things.
perfect burger
I'm
patty
between two
like a Mr. Krabs, and then slap on between two quick crackers. That it don't make sense. That man not good enough.
No,
But I thought that
Mudryk
Gallagher,
was sick too.
I
Huh?
thought that coming into this season, Gallagher could have probably been a player that could influence this Chelsea squad. I guess it's just not working out for him though.
Yo, the thing is with Gallagher, no, Gallagher would have probably played better. Yo, with somebody like Gallagher, you need two experienced man or two proper man and Gallagher. So you not have to put too much stress on him. He not have to do too much. I make it because at the end of the day, no. Remember, Gallagher's still young, no. Ultimately, no. I feel like a lot of these players get criticized unfairly because a lot of them man they get the time for come to the team and get proper coaches that will take the time and help for nurture them and improve them. Them man just get thrown into the fire. You check?
Stick a pin right there, guys. Stick a pin right there.
Yeah, you okay?
Really, I'm happy the hairdresser.
Yes.
Big up the hairdresser.
Good night to your hairdresser.
Yeah, big up yourself, hairdresser. I mean, I know how you deal with me.
Let me tell you, man.
Miss a bad luck, PB. What careful with your hand, you bad luck.
The man call out for proof that the hairdresser. What is you?
Munchie, for one time, we did actually believe you this time. We did actually believe you.
The boy lies too much to be a Christian, right? When you talk and say, I can't believe what I believe in.
You blast up the man now, Stella.
You see?
You know, that man,
Yeah.
said Monty guy look like Gwen Doozy over there now.
All right, Munchie, you want to hop back in when we touch on City?
I'm gonna try.
Yo,
Okay,
come
all
on,
right.
pass your boss. I made woman take your time and plant it here. Miss, just drop cheap big Bobby in the head. I left one so.
We do bubble and sorry to hear, boy. Hey, you don't care how you look now. You don't care how you look. You don't have a championship right now, so you can look at it now. Okay, that was Munchie there, fellas. Prove it to us. And he's actually at the hairdresser. All right, guys. But the thing I was saying, Joe, in terms of the game, I think that it just because they spent all that money, we were expecting a fanfare. We were expecting something, and he didn't live up to it. I guess he just left us feeling a bit disappointment. That's how we feel in my eyes. At least.
Yo, fear, right?
But
But at the same time too, you have to take into consideration that they spent all this money, but the team hasn't had any time together to really gel.
This team is for next year, you know.
Yeah, and I think that they had some good signs. For example, like Jalil say, Badia Shield has been solid since he's come in. They stopped Mujik was last, and at the same time he wasn't getting involved in the game. But like I was explaining to a friend of mine. No, hold on there, man. Like I was explaining to a friend of mine. I don't know if y'all remember when we were talking about Mujik coming to Arsenal, and I said to y'all that one of his main weaknesses that he would have to work on and improve is that he tends to struggle against teams that play with a low block, where you can't hit on the counter and like that. And it showed. But then at the same time, too, the man sub Mujik and bring in Madueke, and Madueke looked real good.
Yeah, he was.
I think.
Yeah,
and I think Enzo in the midfield, even despite the lack of proper help, he did a fairly good job too. He played the pass of the game too. That I honestly thought Kai should have scored. Despite the shaky performance, Chelsea got enough opportunities to win the game still.
I was telling Suko and Simon, we were playing running ball on Saturday. I was telling him, I prefer a 60% Aubameyang than 100% a Havertz.
Havertz. Yeah, true.
I just can't stand to see Havertz in that being the furthest person forward. Gallagher had a good game, needs some more support, but he puts in a good shift. Joe, just keep
Yo,
it
but
a
then
little bit
if you
there.
check out Havertz, where you go put my boy?
The youth man just
Where you go put
who that?
Havertz? If you move him
Havertz?
from there, where you go put him?
Havertz not have a play.
Okay, fair. Yo, real or
Havertz
true,
not
innit?
have a play. Look, but
For me,
okay,
me personally,
but
me put in a Mason Mount position.
you really?
Yeah.
Nah. I would die with Mason Mount at that 10 than Havertz. I don't okay, what is Havertz really good at?
Scoring in the Champions League final against Man City.
I mean
Yo,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Yo man, I like them man, I move like Deli Ali in my mind, Like, is he a really good passer? No. Is he a really good finisher?
Okay,
No.
what was he good at doing the Bundesliga? What was he
yo,
doing right then?
he was a decent finisher. He was also, in my opinion, he's not bad in terms of like holding up the ball and bringing down the ball and so on and whatnot. But I mean, at the same time too, similar to what my boy came out and said the other day, my name Nunes, in the Premier League, you don't have the same amount of time to, for turn and take your shot and for make a decision. Basically, you always have to be one step ahead of the play, know what you're gonna do when you get the ball and so on and whatnot. But honestly speaking, personally, I think that Havertz would do a better job at the 10 than Mount. For me personally, because I've seen one or two games where he plays there, he's not the greatest passer, but at least he will try to make the pass on them. Mason Mount is not brave with his passes like a 10 should be at all. You check, Mason Mount is not brave with the passes. Mason Mount will get one ball in the midfield and two winger Brockway, or maybe one man block through the middle. And for me, as the number 10, I will live with my number 10 trying to make that pass that breaks the line than for you to turn back and kill the whole attack. Which is what
And
he
again,
constantly does.
Joe, the best I have verbs are when you play behind the striker. When they bonus leader after strike, he play, he never play.
Yeah,
As a
that's
main
why
man.
I'm saying I will put him because that's the way he play best.
I kill
doesn't he do the
Chelsea,
same
kill.
thing to play in the middle?
I know Chelsea custom to do kill people career. Look on the players in their career that they
Right,
kill.
but even when he was playing for Germany at the World Cup there, he didn't really look splendid either.
Yeah, but taking into consideration that he's coming from a Chelsea team that was not doing good at all. I think I have to take all them some
Joe,
into consideration.
I think you're being rather lenient on him because playing out, he just been trash. You can say what you want about Mount, but I think you must levy the same accusation against
No, you
Havertz.
cannot. You cannot because Mason Mount has been there. Mason Mount is an English player, born and raised in the Premier League, born and raised
But
in England.
Havertz has been doing this for a while though. I think that
but hold on.
period is gone.
Yeah, but pay attention to the fact that in each manager, in terms of Lampard, Tuchel, and now what's his name? Tuchel and now Potter.
I know Potter, yeah.
Almost every time that man play Havertz, that man play the man somewhere else. One time Havertz to play as striker, one next time Havertz to play as the attacking midfielder, like the deep lying centre forward. One next time has Havertz to play left wing. I mean, personally for me, you have to take all those things into consideration because I believe on a given day, if you give me a confident Mason Mount and a confident Kai Havertz, I'm going with Kai Havertz 100%.
I personally think that would be a bad decision.
Well, that's a Mason Mount for you. Boy.
I just think Mason Mount in confidence does more with the ball. If you rightly say his passes haven't been good.
Mason Mount
hold on there, Joe. But he can go past, he can dribble past players. Havertz can't offer that to you.
Sure. Which Havertz do you watch? You have not seen a confident Havertz. One confident Kai Havertz will run through a backline. Come on, Shaq.
Will run through a backline with what?
Yeah. I mean, with what?
He consistently gets balls over the top because teams are playing high lines, and he's not a threat because he lacks the pace.
Yeah, but I think he has the technical ability to make up for it. The technical ability to make up for it.
If
What
you can
Mason
tell
Mount
me
have?
that he will
I'm
link up better
confident
with
Mason Mount.
somebody over him, I can see that. You know what? Let's just leave the jury out on him until he
I'm
gets a
confident
proper
then.
nine.
I'm confident Mason Mount. The only thing different is that he take more shot than he take now. And guess what? They still now score. How you could be a number 10 player one club for ages now, right? Well, yeah, okay, that I can agree with. If you say both of them can be moved on, I can agree with that. But if you're talking about both of them as individual talents, I think that Havertz is better than Mason Mount. Personally, you are number 10 that in your whole career, I mean, even think this man have double digit big chances created from open play. Even the assistant that he have, how much of them from open play? Majority of Mason Mount assistant them are from corner
Set
free
pieces.
kick.
Right, yeah.
Man is a dead
But
ball
Joe,
And
specialist.
Well,
and you
man,
are
the man is
number
specialist in
10.
something. What is Havertz
Joe,
special is
the Havertz
that?
that me no Joe. The Havertz that me no. Yeah, yeah. When they Leverkusen, yeah, yeah.
Leverkusen.
And crazy player.
That's what I'm
And
saying,
if
boss.
you remind me of Ferran Torres that was City.
And and it's not like Havertz hasn't had, for me, right? It's not like Havertz hasn't had little patches, no. The man has had little patches, no. Because Havertz have one or two, 3 game, 4 game where Havertz scores some goal out of nothing, no. And not just that, some of them he scores some goal and some exceptional finishes. But then take that into consideration too. At the end of the day, ultimately, how much can you cry down a player when 9 out of 10 times the whole team no good? But then even when the rest of the team are play well, their man make exceptional runs and everything. A lot of the
Havertz,
time, Mason
Havertz
Mount is
the
still
year
not that
when
great.
Chelsea won the UCL still wasn't good. He just scored a goal in the UCL final.
See that?
That's
Connor
really it.
Havertz was good.
Havertz was good with Joe. You're purging your conscience, bro. Havertz
No
was good
plenty of
what?
he wasn't great, but he was good. Bearing in
Okay,
mind that they brought back in Lukaku for how much 100 and whatever million, and nothing tall they go on for Lukaku. No, remember when Chelsea started to catch themselves and catch farm, it was with Kai Havertz up top no. And Kai Havertz who bring back them on farm
Mason
no.
Mount was good when Chelsea had the transfer ban. Man was really good. Man was tearing it up.
So maybe they need
Y'all
Tearing it
can't
up.
tell me that
maybe
that's
they
not
need
true.
to transfer
But we
ban
have to move on. We have to move on. Go ahead, Moy. I think Arsenal played next. Let's just go on that. Arsenal had the big had the
No,
first game on Saturday.
we're going to leave the August for last. Okay.
I mean that we can do that. We can do that. Load that. Yeah, go ahead.
Um yeah, we had Wolves beating Liverpool 3 goals to 0.
So,
Yo,
Um
you want to say I told you I was going to beat Liverpool. That's all I'm want to say. Because at first I say, boy, Liverpool go bang them. I'm like, yo, actually, no. Because Wolves are going back hot from the cup match. And honestly speaking, Wolves played their man pretty well in the cup match, but it was just unfortunate.
right
But me
now,
never
Joe,
expect
everybody
them
back
old
Liverpool,
goals.
so that's all like a
Well,
fair thing
well,
that you
that's
had.
it. Me don't like to play Liverpool after City.
you wish me they play Liverpool yesterday.
But Shaq, the thing is, right, me don't tell her Wolves win this game. Me don't tell her the Wolves want
Yeah,
revenge.
facts.
Remember me tell her so.
Did
Facts.
Just
okay.
the fact.
Tell her yourself so. Did you bet on the game yet? Did you bet on that game?
Which game?
Wolves and
No,
Liverpool.
no, my
So
top
I
bet
mean when they
right
make
now,
the
guy.
win. Ta.
My top bet right now, my top bet boy.
Okay, okay.
I know my look on funds right now, da.
So that's that when
That's so
people
much.
bet when
Wait,
they're low on funds.
that's so much
Eh?
you bet. That's so much you bet you lose.
No.
Yo,
Mo- mo-
oh
Go
okay.
ahead, man.
Brentford winning 3-0 against Southampton.
No,
Then
Yeah,
no
we
surprise.
call
No
that.
surprise in that. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
we
there was
call
any
that.
surprise in that.
this was an interesting game. Leicester beating Aston Villa 4-2. Wait,
Yo, hold
Joe
on there,
called
right?
that.
Just give me the floor, right? I'll come
Joe
back
called
in. Up to now, me no miss with Leicester calling them no.
that.
Remember me tell you that no. Because here, part of why I told you I believe them man to turn it around was the fact that I had read the same afternoon that Madison was back. And I think that was something that they were missing big time. Oh, and behold, who scored the first goal? Madison. Same Madison. And their man had a good game in terms of the fact that they fought back from behind and come back and win the game. What 4-3?
4-2. I think it's 4-2.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4-2.
4-3 or 4-2. And
4-2.
they played well. They played well. And Leicester tends to have these, I tell you, Leicester tends to have these breakout games and then they go on little runs. Maybe like a
Let's stop
3-4 game run
scoring
to
own
secure
goals, though,
themselves.
Joe.
Huh?
Let's stop scoring own goals.
Well,
Yo, talking
that's
about
an
that,
all as well.
I saw a picture that
Yo,
they were
that is
saying,
facts.
right? Is the one that the person that scored the two own goals against Liverpool. Now he have the most goals.
What you name? Favre or something?
But it
Yeah,
wasn't him that scored this weekend.
they said that he have the most goals for Liverpool so far since the after the World Cup.
Yo, that's wild.
Nathan Jones, Weston Hassan Hootel. And guys, you see this take? This is why I think that
100%.
maybe it wasn't a really good choice that Leeds stuck the manager. Because
Why?
it's not guaranteed they're going to get a bounce. Look at this sack Hassan Hootel. I'm bringing this guy. And I think there's some game I believe Hassan Hootel would have won in this run in.
But then that's my thing I was about to say. For me, the Hassel Hootel and the what a guy in that this fired Jesse Marsh situation. It's two completely different situations. You have a Leeds team that has been bringing in what it is he's been asking for versus a Southampton that has hardly been doing any business for years and years and years. Every time the man gets one shining star and start build the team, you turn on and sell the man. So how much can he really do versus Jesse Marsh that come in, you get all your Yankee man and them that you want for bring in and everything for build the team, and you lose 7 games consecutively. Not only that, you've won 2 games for the whole season.
Right.
Everything
But
else,
contrast
drop.
that with Nottingham Forest, who gave the manager time when they were having a bit of a rough patch. And look at where they are now.
Corner, you hear me say the man and they lose 7 games back to back. Tell me when you see Nottingham Forest lose 7 games back to back. Them man lose on 3. Them man lose 3, win 1, draw 1. I hear what I always get a big team.
Early up in the
Them
season,
man
they
pull a result against a big
terrible.
team.
Yo,
They get me wrong now. Everybody was surprised when they kept Cooper no. Everybody was shocked because we thought, remember it came out the day before that he was getting sacked. And then the next day they announced that they give the man a new contract. I'm like, wait, what? But that's them. He worked for them. They know what they were doing. And they've been bringing in better players that work for him.
I'm saying
been getting the players.
It's not a magic. It's not a magic potion that you fire manager and you can get the Sean Dyche bounce.
No, although
I would love for Leeds to get the bounce
just in room
because they have who they play next. So I would love for them to get the bounce.
But when they think them man will get the bounce because today Monday they fired yesterday. You have to find a new manager, bring it in. What kind of training session and so he can get in that little space of time?
That's why they call it the manager bounce, bro. That's why they call it the bounce.
They should have fired Jesse Marsh since last week.
Well, this new manager bounce don't seem like some magic potion type stuff for real.
Yo, you know they said every new Everton manager has always won their first game.
Won their first game. Every manager. Even Lampard won his first game.
Even Lampard too. Because when they brought in, what's the dude name? The legend. They have a legend that Duncan Ferguson. He even won as well.
Yeah.
I think he beat Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So manager
remember after that them I start trying to buy what you named it? Them try to buy Garden.
Yeah. Newcastle. Chelsea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more. Next game.
Brighton winning 1-0 at home to Bournemouth.
Mitoma with the header, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Mitoma
in top form right now.
Yo, this man gonna make Brighton some money this summer. This man gonna make Brighton some money in the summer because the way how he's playing and he's confident too. what how he's going about his business.
I mean, a player like him, right? As I normally say, going from little teams like this to a bigger club, it's a whole different stuff. We have to, share the equal shine. That you just hope that he can just continue to form because seeing players like him move to bigger clubs and not being able to continue to shine, it just becomes sad all at the fact,
It
you
does.
know.
Yeah, but
I
I
have to
think the thing that
agree.
plays in his favor is the fact that he'd be moving more than likely from a Premier League team to another Premier League team. And pretty much any other team he go, he tear it up. Because the problem is a lot of the big players that come into the Premier League and flop or don't live up to the expectation are typically coming from an external league and not moving within the Premier League.
Fair point.
So yeah,
I
and the guy has a lot of technical ability. Like even I tell him a partner, like, yo, that goal that he scored against Liverpool, yeah, everybody made memes and everything out of it. But
Mm,
yo, the technical ability
composure.
and the composure was insane.
So we have a guest in the comments here. Spurs to finish in the top four now. I can't wait. What a wait he up for? Man, Bank City and now the man is back. Go ahead, more.
Crazy.
Next one.
um Man, you winning 2-1 to Crystal Palace.
Casemiro red.
Casemiro choking off the man.
To be fair though, he shouldn't put his hand here. That's a
Yeah.
red card. But I don't think he was choking him. He didn't look like he was there was any force behind of it.
He was just playing, man.
Yo,
You know,
it looks at the same how no force Mendy when Pepe lean forward and then
No,
slap
no,
a red
I'm saying
card
granted it's
for
a red
Pepe.
card. I'm not saying that's supposed
Yeah,
to get sent off.
yeah.
Shot.
But,
Yeah.
but,
Listen
but
to me,
you
right?
are, I see somebody they try for argue the Jacko one, right? But for making up, I kill Jack and Jack kill the man, no? And
No,
they
the
two
man
different
violate
stuff.
Shaka DVD for real.
Yo, shot. When you watch me here, and I choke the man they try apart, the man I push, the man they try push away from the liquor scrap
Yeah,
and
but he hand can't
Yeah,
dead though.
they put
You know,
your
once
hand.
you go up to the faces, that's
Yeah.
an automatic red. Yeah.
Because even when he got the red card, even the Crystal Palace players seemed like they were surprised. So that I think that says a lot.
I
Because
saw
they weren't really fighting and saying, hey, he should be sent off or whatever. The man may look surprised. But me like ever watch him move up because if I run back a man and slap, man get you with him.
But they were saying somebody was telling me today that Schlapp was choking somebody too.
yeah, they
Yeah, I
said
saw that too. Yeah, I saw that too.
Well,
But
I ain't
I don't think
complaining.
there was any proper angle. There was any proper angle to see the slap one clearly, and I think that might have been what saved him.
I think not Akani, Jalil and Munchie going back and forth in the comments because Jalil telling him he have to start thinking about Middlesbrough and Millwall. And then Munchie say, that's what I want. Our Akani say he's been missing the lucky shows live, but going back and watching them. Thank you for that. Are you not Fred? Oh, are you not Fred a small one?
Yeah, he did. I
I
saw that
didn't
too.
see that. I didn't see that. I didn't see that one. Boy. I like an
Yeah.
old school battle where they go on.
Yo,
They,
you know them fans when them something happen, them man go back and find the footage and pick out every little
yeah.
thing.
facts.
Them
Yo,
all over
that's the
Twitter.
thing. Man. All them phones out now. Everybody want to catch
Yes, dog.
something. Everybody
Yeah.
want to catch
Yo, but
something.
overall, no. Apart from the red card, Man United had a good game, a fairly good game. No, you check Rashford and top form. Although I rate United, I rate Rashford a lot. Think I'm a very talented player. I'm glad to see he catch back himself, especially after the whole Euros thing. With him, Saka and Sancho and so on. Because even with Sancho, something they were saying was that I think from Ten Hag and them camp, what they were saying is Saka seems to have been the strongest one out of all of them mentally. He came back right away. But then at the same time, too, Saka seems to have a bigger support system around him in terms of from the club and so on. Because they were saying that it seemed like even that was still affecting Sancho. And it seems like he had some other personal things going on and so too. So,
Mm.
all banter and everything aside, they're man talented footballers. I wish they're not luck against Arsenal, but I'm glad to see Rashford catch back. He's a man in exquisite form right now.
Me not lie, no Joe. After the Arsenal game now, Me watch about 3 or 4 movies on Netflix Saturday now. Cause me no watch more football, the big man.
No, I watched the United game in such a way that for some reason I was always by the TV when one of the goals was scoring. Like for like 10 minutes before the goal score. But I didn't like sit down and watch the whole game. Like me watch the Arsenal game. The only other game I watched the entire game was the Tottenham and Man City game.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
The Manchester United fans out, and to be fair, Skills been a big Rashford supporter. He's a Cashford, my boy,
Yeah,
100 million. Start the bid. 3 points, 3 points behind Cheat City. That they name now. Cheat City. Cello is a bigger artist supporter than you, Enter Jack. Yo, I can't. You know how the thing go. You know how the thing go. If anybody sit down and watch United game, they drop sleep. I can personally attest to that,
yeah,
guys.
but it's crazy how Casemiro get the red card, right? Like, okay, I know you've gone a man down, but in terms of the composure of the team and everything, Casemiro got a red card, and then I like Crystal Palace just say, yo, yeah, I time for play ball. And then man just start pressure them. I'm like, yo.
It was almost deja vu.
Yeah, Fred had a good shift though. I think Fred had a real good shift. And Parna, as much as me not like give them man no love, brethren, Martinez, that man a one machine, brother. How what the joke it are?
You know watch nobody else but Arsenal, no mean interesting to see nobody else play no shot.
In general or because we lost?
No, in general, I mean interesting to
Me
see
love
nobody else
football for that.
But yeah, me a
Big
football
man.
fan, so me watch the game,
When
innit?
Arsenal and Barcelona play,
Yeah,
me sit down in front for my TV and for my iPad. Other than that, me don't want to see nobody else coming interested in them. When them time
No,
come
like,
and
they get me wrong,
play,
the solo.
you see them play.
Arsenal game are probably the only game that I will sit down and glued to the TV and move and miss nothing.
Yeah,
The
And
rest
then of
game
course
and
it's a
them,
big game.
yeah,
To be honest with you,
other than
as
if it's a
much
big
as
game.
Tottenham win yesterday, right? Me no want Man City not Tottenham 10. Me no like Tottenham 10.
So here we know, me no believe you hate Tottenham more than me, no. But here we know, me they cheer for them yesterday, no. I want the joke.
Yo, jump up in my bedroom, Joe. Shamelessly.
Now, I see Grealish run down the flank, right? And cut in and hook Emerson, right? I'm see Emerson clappy, right? I say, yes, my boy.
Big man, be like, yo, play the ball to the man, give the man a true ball in the Kulisevsky. What you doing, bro?
I'm gonna say now. I'm telling man, you look for City.
Yo, yesterday, all of them, bro, Joe. Joe, yesterday, all of them, bro.
Listen to me, Sha. For my sister, on the same road with the Tottenham Stadium. The Tottenham Stadium just little down the road for she. And because she live close to Tottenham Stadium, and I want to go by she.
Yeah.
I hear something.
Oh, she like.
Okay. Let me get into some of the comments. We'll see if Rashford keeps it up. Wouldn't keep my hopes up. Fred, the best Brazilian now. 80 million, start the bid. We don't come to these prices that skill quoting. Yeah, might as well. You just say, we need to say, pan show Joe. Where Martinez rank in league CBs right now? The Martinez, the Saliba.
Top five for me, 100%. I would not say better than Saliba because I think all round as a centre back, Saliba is better than him. Because Saliba is very good on the ball. Saliba can progress the ball and all of that. And at the same time, too, I believe for me, Saliba is more of that Rolls Royce type defender. Yo, put it this way: Vidic Ferdinand partnership, Martinez would be a Vidic and Saliba would be a Ferdinand. Just put them that way. I think anybody that really watches football and know about that understand that.
Yeah, Martinez is. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into that because perhaps Joe was a bit hasty.
No, I'm talking in form. Top 5.
In form.
Yeah, in form. I don't think he's played in the league long enough for me to say, yo, he's top 5 best centre back in the league overall. But we're talking in form, especially in this current season. Because really and truly, after he got bad up in the Brentford game, the man, the turn back since,
Joe, can you stop giving United credit now?
Joe, let me say something right, Joe. It's Martinez. So he just come in the league here. The man rough up plenty of players here. And I'm gonna tell
Yeah.
you, me and a fan of Man U, but I'm gonna tell you what I like about Martinez. I'm gonna be honest. He rough. And in the fear
Yeah.
for going for in a tackle. If you
Pana,
put your body there, if you
remember
put your body there,
Pitbull,
in a care what happen to you.
remember Pitbull, the man nickname, you know, Pana
You understand?
Lissandro.
And
What
you need
nah,
for
Saliba
defenders
is
like
not more
that, so.
comfortable on that. Jalil, yeah, me and you could disagree now. Me
You
and you could
understand?
disagree 100%. Lissandro's best attribute is his long passing, right? When he get enough time on the bar for pick the pass, yes.
But that's
But if
kind of
you're
crazy
talking
that
about
defender's best attribute is passing.
if you if you're talking about getting a ball under pressure, being able to keep completely composed, work yourself out of it, and pass the ball and progress the ball up the field, he can't touch Saliba. If you're talking about picking that long pass over the top, yeah, because remember he also used to play left back, so I can understand that. And if you talk about being that defender that reads the game so perfectly that you just always there for make that last ditch tackle, I'll give him that. But in terms of all round ability, me and you can disagree on that, but
All right.
Saliba and Rose Rice.
Lisandro, nah, you ain't watching United. Lisandro does that weekly. No, no one is, bro.
Hear them boys.
I think it's a
Even my
response
boy
to
and
this.
Alan Bala. Yo, right, Pana, as good as Martinez be, right? Although my boy may have a couple shaky moments this season. Plenty of them can't even talk to Gabriel either.
Gabriel
Because
probably having a
Gabriel
better season than
than
Saliba.
Saliba right now. Because right now Gabriel has taken over. Because I keep telling people, we criticize Gabriel, right?
Gabriel's just solid, man.
We seem to forget that. Yeah, but we seem to forget that Saliba has Ben White in a right back that is not going to go forward much there to assist him versus a Gabriel that 9 out of 10 times has to be covering the entire left side because Zinchenko up the field or play midfield.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And most of the physical battles too is not Zinchenko. Gabriel takes on that.
Yeah,
Gabriel takes
100%.
on that. Moy, go ahead.
Gabriel has some mistake in here, right? But on a day, he's solid. Let me say he's solid. Solid, man. He get better.
Yeah, it's a mistake, but
25.
I think
man, until a years ago, man. Couple more
Yo,
years.
overall on a whole, no, I think we can fairly say, in my opinion, overall on a whole, the Premier League has a very good crop of young defenders
yeah,
right now.
True.
Yeah, I think overall on a whole, there are quite a few really solid young defenders in the league right now.
Stones make Maguire look like prime English Maldini in an England team. Y'all think Arsenal this season were just lucky and now they're riding high, or can they keep going, keep this going next season? We're gonna get to that. What is that time? We on to those games yet?
Just two more. Newcastle and West Ham draw 1-1, and Nottingham beat Leeds 1-0.
Yo, I think everybody called the Newcastle West Ham draw.
A draw.
Yeah, everybody called that.
No, me go for West Ham for 1-0 win.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I hear when Newcastle scoring in 3 minutes now.
Yep. And then they scored one before that, ain't it? I got ruled out,
yeah.
So, all right, Maury, let's touch on the inevitable. Arsenal dropped points this weekend, guys. Let me just say it before anybody else says so. Arsenal dropped points this weekend to 19th place, Everton. But I'll also give you some context. Last week, we came into this weekend with 19 games to play, 5 points clear with a game in hand. We also finished this weekend 5 points clear with a game in hand. But we have 18 games left. That's just my little 2 cents here. Joe, I've heard Joe's points. Let's go to Cello first, and then Joe will fill in what Cello didn't see.
Okay. On that Arsenal game, when the game start here, the way Arsenal start the game, you understand? Me don't say, boy, something wrong, boy. Arsenal start the game flat. Arsenal, like, they wasn't really up for the battle. You understand?
That was a good point from Jalil.
Everton start the game hungry. From the minute 1 to the last minute, Everton running, physical. Every battle, them man want. Them man are going for every challenge. Yeah. Arsenal just never up for it. Yeah. And it's just one of those days where things not go away because Arsenal supposed to get a penalty. Then the game. Because if you watch the play, the man they go for no ball and the man not no ball, he chip up the man and fall, he be the referee, never said this, never said that. If he chip, he fall the man not no ball. And penalty be. The man go for shut down game and he chip up the man. Because Gay come out with the ball. But
Joe, what's your take on that?
Put it this way. When I saw it first, I didn't think it was a penalty, like watching it live. Then when I saw the replay, I was like, is one of them for me that one referee gave it as a penalty. Another one is not going to give it because, in my honest opinion, if me be completely honest, I think Gabriel was looking for it. And I think that's why he didn't get it.
Yeah, I think it's Marpe. I think he just tried to roll him, just put your body between man and ball.
And Gabriel basically, as soon as he felt the contact, make a milk him. And sometimes you're going to get those calls and sometimes you're not going to get them. So for me personally, I wasn't even really that upset about it.
All right. Cello, you finish?
Well, question, right? I know that I don't hear this talking of not getting penalties because you're looking for the call and feeling it. But isn't that the whole point of it because you're being smart? Or is it just, you have to try and sell it to a certain degree in order to get it?
That's why I said some referees, will give it and some won't. Because there are a lot of referees that would have blown our whistle and given us the penalty. But then at the same time too, and I think as well, right? Sometimes when VAR has its positives and its negatives, because I feel like sometimes when the challenges happen and then you sit now and you watch it in slow motion, it takes away from the overall thing of it. So one out of two things, it either looks not as bad or it looks a lot worse than it really is. So it's like a double-sided sword. Right. So I wasn't even really upset about it because, like Jalil said, in my opinion, personally, we weren't good at all.
Yeah, watching the game, bro. I'm like, Arsenal kick into gear now, kick into gear. Yeah, I keep waiting for the spark. In other games, of course, there've been times where the teams, where the opposition teams would dominate possession, have a good spell, but then we'll have a 10 minutes where we just keep going. Yeah. I kept waiting for that spark. It was just never there. Munchie has a problem with me highlighting the game in hand. Okay, so I won't. And we're still 5 points clear.
Question to you. I know we now say that big teams going for championship. We have a slump. How many do y'all think y'all have one more slump like that left, or y'all can, manage to grind it out throughout the rest of the season?
Oh, I feel like this season those games have been like refreshers to us, like reminders to us that like, hey, there's still a lot more to go into the season. So for me personally, I think, in my opinion, especially depending on what our performance is like against Brentford, I think that this bad game or off game came at the perfect time, in my opinion, because I'd prefer to lose to Everton, where I think that sends a real bad message to the players. Like, of all the games to lose, we lose to the team at the bottom of the table, brother.
2 years in a row. We let Everton have the hope.
Joe, I don't want to cut you right, but they doing live here, and I say this here.
Yeah, but they watch you live.
That last day here, I've Arsenal start over again and go again till the end of the season. Just like the lose against Manchester United, and then you go on and run. The last they come at the right time. Yeah. So now Brentford at home and City at home, Arsenal know what they have to do now.
Joe, I sent something to you. Joe, I sent something to you regarding, I think it was of the 18 games, I think we have 10 at home and City and 8 away. And City has 11 reverse.
And City had 8 at home and 10 away.
And 10 away.
You didn't have the picture that I said, probably not. Because I said
more send a picture in the group.
Oh yeah, you sent the picture in the group.
I started running. Still saying dropping points against Everton is like a defeat. It's a reality check? Are Arsenal really ready to win the league? That's my question. We're gonna answer that. Akani, don't talk till you win a proper recognizable trophy. Akani says, fair point. Fair point indeed. All right, guys. Arsenal fans. I think there's another Arsenal question up here too from Akani. But let's answer this one first, and I'll see if I find the comments and we can talk about that. Are Arsenal really ready to win the league? That's Phil's
Let me
question.
say this, a shot to that question. Yeah, the way Arsenal play here, look, every team go and bump in the road. As the people say, how you go react after the defeat, how you go come
One
back.
could mean slap up Liverpool. Remember that too.
You understand? Where reaction gonna be like the next game now. You understand? I'm gonna tell you what make Arsenal confident going into the next two games. The love that Arteta show them in the press conference. Yeah. The love that the manager show them, that it boost them confidence going into the next couple of games. You understand? You know, some manager will come out and will criticize them players. The man come, he show love. My love here now, even before, more than the past
last
2 months,
week
the
and
past
last
2
week.
weeks. That they put the
I think he's a
confidence.
genius, you know.
So,
Nah, like
okay.
that.
Yo,
So
a
in that
reverse
say right,
psychology
Sean,
that now.
that they make
That
make the
they
players and
like
them feel okay, more
private
confident now.
reverse
Because yeah,
psychology.
despite
So
losing, the manager put confidence in our way. So down, yes, but I feel so down going into the next game. Because I love that
Not
the
just that,
manager show.
when Saliba did his interview, Saliba said Arteta basically, like, and I'm in on to no cussing on Arteta tell them, yo, basically, we lost that game because one team had determination and the other didn't. That's the long and
Simple.
the short of it.
And, and, and
And I agree with that.
in some of the in a couple of the documentaries, there's sometimes when you just walk in the room and you really had much to say. Because
Yeah.
I feel like that you could feel the mood in the dressing room that they know what's this about. They know
Yeah,
when
and
they
it's like
messed up.
you walk in and you know, boy, they can't take a bashing today.
Right.
Yeah, you
They feel them
understand?
all right.
And like Arteta was saying too, it's easy to be with the team and supportive of the team when you're winning. You can't just turn around now because the man and lose one game
Lose
and just
and
drop
yeah,
down
and I
their throat.
bash them. Yeah, that's what I say.
That's your first loss in 15 games.
Yeah.
And
You
Context
the
is
thing,
understand?
important.
Joe, what make you more confident, right? Knowing that the manager support you 100%, winning
Uh-huh.
win or lose. That it
Yo,
because it boosts your
not even
confidence
just
more.
that. I think one of the biggest things for us has been the fact that barring this game and the United game, we've managed, particularly this game, we've managed against pretty much every other team, even on the days when we were having bad days, like we had against Everton, to somehow still get a result. But this time around, we just didn't. And I'm not necessarily criticizing Arteta, but I think that sometimes you don't always have to do everything like for like. So, for example, I think Sean Dyche did a very good job at packing the midfield and you put three athletic box to box man in the midfield, right? Which now in turn allows the right back and left back help. Because I think they did a good job at isolating both Saka and Martinelli. Because usually when teams play like that, they're usually only able to maintain it on one side. So if the man isolate Martinelli, usually Saka had a world of space over there and vice versa. Sean Dyche was able to isolate both. But at the same time, too, that was because Ben White, for me, not necessarily trying to throw a lot of criticism at him, but Ben White, for me, was one of the poorest players on the pitch apart from Partey, but also understanding that Partey is not 100% because he wasn't offering those overlapping runs and so on to give Saka that help and that space. So sometimes for me, this whole Arteta doing this like for like change, sometimes I think is that stubbornness, kind of like Pep, and a lot of times it works. So your track record talks for itself. But I think something you can do something different. Because for me, you could have sub Xhaka and push Zini into Xhaka position, bring on Tierney for do them overlapping runs for help Martinelli, right? Or you could have left Zinchenko there, but at the same time too, instead of Odegaard wasn't having a great game, but instead of subbing Odegaard, bring on Vieira and put him in Xhaka's
Yep.
position. We've
Yep.
done that already and it worked,
That's what I
right?
was saying.
So now you have two creating forces for them man to worry about. Because even Vieira, yeah, the overall performance from the team was poor, but I think his cameo when he came on wasn't really that bad.
Yep.
The team just remained good. So instead of subbing Odegaard and doing all your substitutions like for like Martinelli Trossard, um,
Tommy
Vieira
has to play wide.
Odegaard, Partey,
Jorginho party.
you understand? Instead of doing all your changes like for like, sometimes just do something a bit different. You know, that was like my only criticism for me for Arteta. Like Jalil said, that man created four big chances. We didn't create any. The closest thing we had to a big chance was that ball that got cleared off the line from Saka.
But let me say some Joe. Me thought that Everton game there, me think he should have put Trossard inside and left and should have sub Martinelli. Me think he should have left bring Trossard inside. As you say, instead of Vieira, he should have bring in Trossard and Odegaard. Because reason being like Trossard good on the ball and he can travel with the ball. He's more physical than Vieira, if you understand what I say. You understand? And he can pick and pass. You understand?
Yeah, but even with that though, no, for me, I wouldn't have done that because I feel like Vieira has shown, not necessarily that he's bulking up, but I think his physicality has been getting better. Because remember the first set of games he came in, he get shake up like he had good cameos, but he may get shake up. And then when he came in against Brentford, I just do something different. Look at how Pep City fans. Yeah, but yo, when you making small tactical adjustments because your typical play style is one thing, but when you play one particular way and then you just decide, okay, me play a big game for close the gap.
Hey, we can get to that.
I'm gonna bench KDB. Then KDB come on.
To that, bro.
KDB come on and suddenly I start the football. Like I don't get it.
We can reach there, Joe. Finish up your point so we can move on.
Wait, more ask more this question.
Is this about the City game?
City related.
Okay, the City game. Well, the City
Yeah,
game.
I'll go to the City game. Yeah, but the Arsenal game for me, I don't know if y'all agree with me. I just feel like we could have done something a bit different as opposed to doing the whole like for like thing. Because at that point too, here's my thing. You're gonna lose, right? You're gonna lose.
Can't
Go
lose
for
two
it.
times.
You can't exactly go for it. Because here we know. Even in getting a draw in that kind of game where we were poor,
Well, I mean,
that's a good
because
result.
we'll be 6 points clear now. With the game.
Precisely.
The thing I would say, okay, granted the party wasn't 100% fit. It's fine. I really thought that sub was really early. He must have been really struggling. I thought that sub was really
probably
early. Other than that, I thought Shaka should have been the one. I thought Shaka and Martinez should have been sub.
The sub.
And put on Trossard and Vieira, change up that left side so we can get something else going. Other than that,
for me, the only how you leave Martinelli is like I said, if you're going to bring on Tierney to give him that help. Other than that, you have to take him off.
Yeah. Because Shaka usually does that, give him that help, but Shaka's off. I mean, and they are allowed bad day.
Yeah, exactly. But and at the same time too, I think apart from that little cameo where Eddie played that ball to Odegaard, Eddie was off too.
Yeah, and he had that chance in the first half, man. Go for a post.
And Eddie wheeled the ball. Why? What did you?
I don't even know why he chose that option. The man has sell up on the back from now on there.
Yeah, go across the goal. He could have went across the goal.
Man, tell her go buy Che Adams there. Man, your seller must be licking his lips now because Southampton don't get relegated. Che Adams for the cheap.
Crazy.
All right, fellas. So we jump to the Manchester City. If Munchie's going to jump in right now. But Moy, take it away. You can go ahead and then we'll jump in.
Oh, where do I start that? First off, let me say, right, I really think it is just Tottenham Stadium. Because I don't understand how we can't manage to score a goal at East Person Stadium up to now. And I think that it's common routine right now that we must somehow try to give Tottenham a goal in order for them to score. It happen once again. I mean, I should point out, that I always call on Rodri, but Rodri had a very, very poor game. on Sunday. It was so he was the one that managed to give that pass that led to the goal. I mean, he was kind of lucky there because in the midfield also. I mean, on everything, the team was just poor. It was very very sad to see that Haaland making these in behind runs and not getting any ball at all. Nobody trying to force them to him at least. Um, I mean, in all, I would say it's not really a game to talk about, and it's not because I'm salty, but just because you don't really remember anything from out of the game. You just remember that Mahrez chance, probably the only chance that we got. Um,
Yeah,
then the gift goal, well, the goal that Tottenham got. I am probably just one more other counter attack from them. I mean, other than that, it's not really much happening in the game. It's just sucked to see that Arsenal managed to drop points, and we really thought that we could probably go to Tottenham and probably gain some more ground and keep and continue to add pressure. But it still remains the same as what it is. Other than that, we're one less game closer to the ending of the season. So yeah, that's really what I have to say. And yeah, the De Bruyne situation. I don't really have much to say on that because I can only go from the standpoint of view that because of how we finished the game and started the second half against Tottenham, that he went with that. And I think the players on the field probably could have been more creative. It could have, more creativity in them to try and pick out something because, I mean, yeah, nothing was really going on. I can't make an excuse for this one. It was just on us. Got punished, lost 3 points. Yeah, we just basically have to go again.
yeah, facts. Yo, I feel like Tottenham came into the game um very motivated in terms of the fact that okay, one, they wanted to repay the favor that of how they lost the game at the Etihad. Two, the fact that they already come into the game knowing that y'all don't have a good record at their home. Three, the fact that they were playing for Conte based on the fact that he in hospital and so on and whatnot. So I just feel like overall the man just came into the game very motivated. And I think the thing that killed y'all is the fact, not only the fact that they got the goal. Yeah, it was a mistake, but at the same time too, they helped to force the mistake. It was a very good pressing from Hoiberg, the way he read that, and you understand. So for me, I think it was very good from him. Because at the same time too, we blame Raji because Raji passed out the ball. And Raji who lost the ball.
Yeah,
Rodri, Rodri.
Roger tried to give it to Rico and Hoiberg pressure and man.
But the
Yeah,
thing
so
is,
so then
like,
even that for me, I don't blame Raji for that because a part of football is knowing where your player is, knowing where your defender is, right?
Ah,
You as the midfielder, I collect the ball. I felt like Rico Lewis could have done better in terms of one to come to the ball, and I think it was very poor from him in terms of awareness and not realizing that Hoiberg was that close to him. So yeah,
and
yeah, maybe Rodri as the one that to look up the field can see, but at the same time, too, I think he's just as responsible because if you give a Gundogan that ball, that doesn't happen to Gundogan.
yeah,
but
and
Joe, me
Joe,
want to say this to you,
just
Joe.
another thing, right? So just making this point there, Cello, that I don't think that's the only thing I could blame because I think it was Kyle Walker or one of them, whoever was closest to Kane when Kane managed to get that shot. I think they could have probably done better also to try and do something to deter him from the shot because if you look now, he wasn't really the cleanest of strikes. But we
Yeah,
know,
but the problem was both of them man focused on Hoiberg. Because
boy,
you remember no? Yeah, remember Hoiberg fall down and basically just put his top on the ball and get the pass after Kane. No? But for me, that's what I'm saying. I see everybody was slandering Rodri, Rodri mistake, however. But I feel like it's just as much of Rico Lewis's fault because you're supposed to know where the defender is. And same how basic football something when we were growing up. You don't stand up and wait for the ball, you go to the ball.
Joe, me want to
And
say
he
this,
turn up,
Joe.
he turn up and wait for the ball. Hoiberg read it, run round he and get the ball and push forward.
yeah, it's still a
But
lot.
Joe, the thing is, right, Joe, everybody blame Rodri, right? But then they give Rodri an option. That's the only option Rodri, and nobody go wide, nobody goes and give another passing option, and he back turn. If you understand what me say, he back
Yeah,
turn.
but I feel
And
like he could have give back. I feel like he could have give back Edison too.
the
I
reason
clear
now,
the ball.
the reason why me they want to ask more a question here, me question that decision there with the young youth man, with Lewis for De Bruyne. De Bruyne more intelligent would know here. This is what you would do. If you understand what me
Uh,
say, with the
uh,
experience.
and yeah, Cello, to jump to that, I had a discussion on Twitter where, with this whole City fan page, and I think it was kind of unfair because they were trying to shift the blame on Rico Lewis because of the game, saying that, he was too young, why you putting him into a big game situation like this? And I mean, let's
Mm.
not forget he already played against Arsenal, he already played against Chelsea, so I mean, you can
Mm.
say that, you can say, let's say he's accustomed to it. Let's just go with
Mm.
that now. But I don't think that I thought it was unfair that you could try and shift the blame to him alone. Not really pointing out your specific statement there. I think he could have done better to try to get in front of the ball
Front,
and
yeah.
probably draw a foul to go in our favor. But seeing people point blame to him alone when you see the team was so poor, and the fact that we weren't really bad defensively. I think we were good
Mm.
defensively, but it was the fact that City didn't create anything. And
Yo,
as I
100% no more.
yeah,
I
as I
feel like
stress, right, when
mm.
City lose, I feel it. But when we lose and don't like it seems like we don't try, I feel it even more. Because we're just going into game like, what are we in the game for? When we're not trying to create chances and win. So that's the only thing that's really bothering me for this game.
No, but what me say is I think Rico Lewis had a case to play the game now because
Yeah,
he played good against them when they all beat them at the Etihad. So I don't see that whole argument. I'm just saying that he could have done better in receiving the ball. But overall, I don't blame him for anything. I don't see anything wrong with him playing. Because at the end of the day, you have to start sometime,
I think
right?
he has been. I think he
But
has
And
the
I
been.
thing,
think he's been
remember,
doing. I think he's been doing fairly well overall.
Fellas, let's get in Munch. We don't know how long he has with us. Let's get his take.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, unfortunately,
Yeah, at the first man, we see look worse after they don't do the hell.
like say, what you say?
When I say nothing, dog. When I say nothing.
Go
Watch,
ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
watch over the show. Yeah. So I was saying, unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the game. I was at church, and
Bless you, bless you. Hope you prefer we.
I literally didn't check my phone until church was over. So when you guys see me playing in the group, that was actually good. No, literally. No, when I'm in church, I, I don't watch my phone. I don't check.
nobody never doubt you.
You
Nobody
Yeah,
never
understand?
me
doubt you
respect,
because I
me
love tell
respect
lie.
that.
Yeah.
Me respect that much.
Joe,
So
nobody never doubt you, but because he love tell lie. He said honestly.
yeah, this man. Right? So I'm gonna get to watch the game, but the
Yeah.
game done and me see 1-0 Harry Kane. I'm like, boy, it was inevitable. Like I really think with Holland, I'll go for break that not scoring at Spurs. Doc, but no boy, that me no boy. I can't like he work something. Me no boy, something boy. I can't and Ganzi and Terry. The man like that work some me no boy. But
It's the
as much
first time I hear Munchie last for word. He can really get his words out.
forget what word though. Me the one say Ganzi because a lot of the people that don't know
No,
the
I'm not
Ganzi.
referring to that. In your earlier statements, it seemed like you were fumbling for your words. You're usually more fluent when you're talking about City in a boastful manner, but you can't really
Yo,
do that
remember the
right
same
now.
one when now we're going to the game now. He said,
Wait,
yo, you know what different this time?
No,
Halak.
where do we really try? Farmer the guy get much job each other. As me this, the results, the standings remain the same.
Whoa.
Wanna kill me there.
What is joke? Yeah.
Wanna kill me there.
Wait a minute.
Munchie by international duty for about 10 years now.
Yeah. So as me this, the standings still remain the same. Everything still remain the same. 5 points
That's not
behind.
true. That's not true.
I mean,
Everything
five
doesn't remain the same.
5 points behind and just would have just grab Arsenal and just grab them and just take the 6 points. But I'm not saying I'm disappointed with the results because the results they happened for the longest while for the past couple of seasons. But yeah, I'm just disappointed with the lineup in a kind of way because as somebody said in the comments, I'm to Diaz, yo, Diaz from a bench for at least 3-4 games now. I may wonder like what people do save him for Champions League because like why is Diaz not starting? How? Why? You understand? But it's okay. We'll get over this hurdle. We have Aston Villa next. And then after Aston Villa, my 3 points, vital 3 points for collect. Well not collect, like the thing will just bring on gimme. So that's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going. I'm going to just jump in here, right, and say I'm going to use the great words of Cello. Every team go through these type of things, and we just start over. Ain't it, Cello? That is the
Regroup and
start
come again.
over.
Regroup.
Here we
But
go,
yeah, no,
come
from a
again.
start span the game. Yeah. As I tell you in the first time when they play against Tottenham here, if Tottenham was more organized, they will never come back in that game day. This game, the Man team was well organized. The Man backline was well organized and well disciplined. Yeah, I tell you, the Man pressing was good. The Man front man,
Yeah,
Harry
facts.
Kane, whole up playing in this game was good and everything. You have to give Tottenham them props here. But City no play nothing. Me don't know what happened. Me don't know what happened to City, but City no play nothing. And the next thing too,
No, because you see how Moy say that he think overall the team that they defended well. Honestly speaking, no, in my opinion, I don't think y'all defended that well. No,
but
I
Tottenham had a
think
lot of chances.
yeah,
A
I
lot,
think
a lot of
Tottenham.
chances.
I think Tottenham were it was for me personally, my opinion. I think it was more a case of Tottenham being poor in that final third.
Yeah, very wasteful in the final third.
In terms of like the decision making in the final third, because 1 or 2 times Kulusevski he get the ball and he didn't know what to do, and then Son get the ball. I think Son, although he didn't score, I think Son had a real good game as well. For me too. I just
Yeah,
think that I think it was more a case of Tottenham not being that clinical in the final third than y'all defense being that good, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, because
but
we
Because
as
didn't
me
yeah,
play.
say no right,
especially
Joe.
yeah, midfield was last that game.
Yo,
The
we
amount
didn't
of
play.
time,
We didn't play with the midfield.
yeah,
I
honestly,
we didn't play with any.
bro, the amount of time Hoiberg and Bentacore win the
Holberg
ball
ran
right
the
in the
match.
midfield, right? I'm like, yo, what the joke it all?
No, I didn't even think Bernardo was playing midfield. He tried to pick up the ball on the wing and try to come into midfield to do something. And as I said, y'all, I was stressing again. We normally accustomed to see Rodri trying to, ping passes to Grealish or Mahrez side to
Uh,
side. Not even that he got to do. I mean,
yeah,
I I know Pep said that there was a whole, travel tiredness and whatever. Well, I'm not really bothering with that because it's not probably the first time we had to travel a good distance. But
More,
I don't know what
more.
happened that game.
Traveling them distant, then it's easy no more. Me can
Yeah,
tell you
no,
next
I
more.
get that,
So when
right?
they
But
just fly then. When they fly
Hmm?
then.
I
No, but
mean,
me say traveling a distance, then easy. You get it tiring, but me
But
tell you.
he know that. So then fly.
Tiring, but
bro,
you really tiring. Sometimes
I'm not,
when you sit down for a long while, but you start get sleepy, you get tired and
Munchie say they have
frustrated.
all this money. So then just charter a flight from Manchester to London.
I'm not
Munchie,
questioning
you see
that
you,
it's tiring, right?
Munchie, you owe Jack
I'm gonna
Grealish and
do
you,
I'm gonna
you
do
owe
next
Jack
Wednesday.
Grealish
Don't worry.
an apology.
I'll
You
save the
owe
charge
Jack Grealish an
next Wednesday.
apology. You Munchie, you Dale Thomas, you owe Jack Grealish an apology. You see what Jack Grealish in the team for do? The same thing what he do yesterday. That he job in the team. That's why
Well,
he's
But
in the team.
say that Emerson was good yesterday.
No, that
He's
part,
Pana,
usually crazy.
Pana,
that in
Pana,
between
good,
and Grealish was top notch.
good. Pana,
I
that
like.
has been Emerson's best game in a Tottenham shirt. 100%.
Yeah, he defend well yesterday, man. But Munchie,
Yo,
Yo,
not
give
not
really
just
some
that, right?
respect, but
Emerson a play, right? And the same thing me they tell you about with Saka and getting the help. You watch Emerson and run down Grealish, right? And Grealish, mean they play football. Grealish, mean panic game. Grealish seem like he may be one of the only person that me really up for the game, to be honest. You check? And Emerson a work. Emerson, everything Grealish do, Emerson ahead of he. Even when Grealish get past he, Emerson till catch you up. And then you watch this man behind there intercept everything and defend. And then when Tottenham get catch on the counter, them man wheel and ball up, they give Kulusevski. At the same Emerson, I make the overlapping run. I run outside the Kulusevski to give the option no.
Yeah.
I don't know what that man give before that game, but me tell you, that has been his best game for Tottenham since going there.
Yeah, Joe, I agree. And I know I sit here saying, trying to blame Man City for having a poor game. But, I also have to give Tottenham some credit. Congratulations, Harry Kane, top goal scorer for Tottenham. I mean, Højbjerg yesterday he was everywhere. And that's what you want to see from your midfield that is up to it. I mean, we know Perisic the last time he played against Mahrez, Mahrez got the way better of him. He's on up and did his own. I mean, yeah, typical Tottenham when we have to come and play City, they did that, they got the counter. Probably little poor decisions from some of them, or else we have probably gotten dent even more. Oh yeah, that's just basically the summary. Just keep
So,
fighting, as I say.
Shaka Nakawa Munchi tonight, though. I got it.
Man, that was a freeze frame, boy.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, yeah, man. Yeah, Munch. Wait, how long Munch here take for the boy? What the joke? I know the man they hairdresser.
Yo,
Yeah,
that man
the boy look like a chowder now.
I want the money coming like when you make your pro clubs play at the start of FIFA board.
Munch hairdresser now even take picture of Munch we put on the Facebook profile because she don't want nobody to see for your head boy.
Get out of here, boy. Just wait. I can send a picture in the group, man.
No, please don't view one, John. Please don't view one.
You get
Alright, well done to games. Anything else?
Oh yeah, question. I tell you from Talk Sport, yeah, is Harry Kane a better? Well, I think so. Harry Kane is a better player than Haaland.
Yeah,
Overall.
I think so. Overall, all around, yeah. I think, Haaland is a good goal scorer.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yo, bearing in mind, Haaland play in what's supposed to be the best team in England, right? Which is Manchester City, the reigning champions, best team in England, and he had 25 goal, however. But Harry Kane also in the second in the Golden Boot race, 17 goal with 17 goal in one season with one team. That no good.
No, he's been doing it though. Everything.
Yeah, he's been doing it consistently.
Yeah, Man United fans are telling me that they will not. Let me not say them Man United fans. I've spoken to two. Jalil was one that he wouldn't want Harry Kane, and so I spoke to somebody else today. They say they wouldn't take Harry Kane in the team.
I think it's a case for me. I think it's more the case of okay. I don't build one particular team and a mole or whatever. Why bring in a Harry Kane that could probably only able to come in and give maybe 1-2 seasons? Because as good as Harry Kane is, I think he's already showing, he's beginning to lose that extra pace and whatnot. So you never know. But then
This United team.
Yeah, but I would say I think Harry Kane has the ability to be that. This might be over exaggerating, but just so you understand. As he gets older, to become more of that Berbatov type striker, because as he begins to lose the pace, because he's just as good as he is a finisher, he's just as good as a creator.
Don't y'all think that Kane could probably develop that Rooney type mentality where he kind of just drops in the midfield later down his career, and
Yeah, quite.
Maybe not so
possibly.
deep.
But remember,
Well,
I was saying that. And not soon when I see Kane start play in the middle. Remember the last show I was saying that.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it so deep though.
But the thing is now, you see now, you got a Harry Kane in that Manchester team there. He can win your trophy, he can never get goal, you know where he get funny. He might not have
put Harry Kane in that Weghorst position, and brother,
That's what I'm
Bare
saying.
football.
This current setup, Harry Kane plug into the United team there is
Facts.
magic.
Bare football. I hear
It's
what
magic.
Harry Kane for me.
I
Harry
feed
Kane,
Rashford.
bro. Not just that. Harry Kane, when he comes to bringing down a ball under pressure and holding it up, I think Harry Kane elite.
That
Personally,
that's why he fits in basically you can say any team in the Premier
any
League.
team.
He
Yeah,
can
yo, I think when it comes to that, the man elite. You will pass one ball to Harry Kane between four defender, and this man find a way for bring him down, control him, and whatnot.
But the thing is, right, Joe, Harry Kane no chat the ball go come. And you know where to
Mm-hmm.
make the run.
Mm-hmm.
That's what make him more deadly. Because you know where the ball and what make it even more better, right? He can finish with both foot and head. That make him make
Yo,
it more easier for you.
not just that, as much as he know where the ball will come and how to make you run and finish and whatnot. At the same how he know when he get the ball, he know exactly where everybody on the field is. I know which part he want to pass the ball. The amount of
That's
pass
what I'm saying.
amount of ball the man bring down, right? And the man just turn and just Lego Kulusevski one time.
Give him Harry Kane.
Jaleel is adamant. Jaleel is adamant that Harry Kane and Sal, them man the curse. You see, he can't win trophy. Harry Kane battled big trophies, but Aiden has a contrasting view. If Ten Hag wants him, then he trusts him. He said he would very much take Kane. I want to get back to the comments. Okay, right. Jaleel is saying his options are Sesko, Ashimen, and Ramos.
I think Osimhen would be the best fit out of them three.
I think he costs
Jaleel, I'm pretty sure they're saying Kane is great, but is being brought down by his team. Lol,
Yeah,
Kane has let down his team many times. Kane has never scored in any semifinals. How many semifinals has he been to? Akani has these two questions, and we can end on this because I've been going for a while. I have my two questions. Does Arsenal keep this up into next season, and does Nketiah stay in the team, or do y'all move him on to get someone better? Cello take one, Joe take one.
Choose the one you want to settle.
All right, Cello, let's switch it up. I'm gonna switch it up. Stella, you answer. Does Arsenal keep this up into next season, and does Nketiah stay? Right, keep it up next season.
Of course, even better next season.
Okay. All right, short and sweet. Joe, does Nketiah stay in the team, or do y'all move him on to get someone better?
As of now,
I think he's talking about next season.
For next season, is a double-edged sword in terms of the fact that Eddie is a poacher, right? And I think that as much as he has been shining and getting better, and I'm impressed, I think it is also quite possible that in keeping him, you run a risk of the fact that by the end of this season, his value might be as high as it will ever be. So, yeah, so there is a fair case to move him on and bring in somebody else. Also, when you have the likes of Balogun out there on loan that's firing as well, I think this season might be, next season might be after the end of the season. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie moves on. And at the same time, too, I feel like Eddie seems to be that kind of player that has that determination to be a main striker somewhere. So I wouldn't even be upset with him. I'd just be happy for him, the fact that it didn't end bad at Arsenal. I was able to prove, I do have talent and I am capable of doing something, while at the same time too, he signed a new contract so I can get max value out of he. And I wouldn't be pissed if we moved him on, but I also wouldn't be upset if we kept him.
Can we get a better backup? Because that's what he is.
Personally, yes, I think so. Because I think we lack that different striker. That like maybe a more target man type striker. So for me, for example,
Like Ben
you
Texas.
I believe this is the time for I go for Blahovic. Next season, the time for I go for Blahovic.
God,
Still from Vlahovic, bro.
me no want
What I
Vlahovic.
mean?
For me personally, Asimen me what? Really and truly sell Eddie and bring in Asimen. Because at
So
the end of the day, Jesus can go and go play wing if necessary. And then at that time too. But basically, right, the whole idea is get to get back to the glory days and get to the status like City, where you can have all them stars in your team and with proper man management and the fact that you're playing so much of competition, everybody get game. I believe personally, I believe you're as a big team, when you say you'll go for everything, I do not believe that your quote unquote backup striker should be that far off of your main striker.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the two of them should probably be just about on the same level. But maybe the two of
Yeah.
them just brings you something different.
And of course, once like I've always said, guys, whenever you're winning, no one has an issue, a real issue sitting on the bench or playing a big part in a winning team.
Facts.
Jaleel continuing his go
Kane
at Harry
slander.
Kane in the comments.
But
Well, his
Sha,
final records are poor. Italy where was Kane, Croatia where was Kane, Man United 2018 where was Kane, Liverpool where was Kane. Man is carrying grudges, says Aiden. I think he's doing well right now, but I don't think he's it. He would probably be good for a mid-table team. Think he's talking about Eddie and Ketty is there. Lucas Moura is reason why Spurs went to a CL final. Spurs, where was Haaland? Akani, he says, some would say poor refereeing is why we made it. Jaleel says, go and do the homework on Kane. He is a battler.
But at the same how you can say that in Kane's defense, no, that the man carry the man and them 90% of the journey. And then when he get to 10%, they need somebody else to step up. Nobody else ever step up. The man tired.
Jaleel is saying, I'm not saying that he wouldn't be good for us, but Kane doesn't guarantee anything. And Ramos and Oshman does.
He guarantee you more than well horse.
Yeah, man, Jaleel, I can understand you don't want him, but if Kane is if you get offered Kane, it sounds like Jaleel saying if he gets offered Kane, he gonna refuse it. And I think that's wrong.
Me like Tottenham, but if that man tell me, yo, sell Eddie and you can get Kane tomorrow, listen.
I'll take Thunder.
At 2
shout
years,
out Eddie.
at 2 years,
I
me
make
want
Eddie
out
no
the Kane.
boss, well done, but outside.
Just 2 years, me want out the Kane, Joe. Just 2
Remember Hurricane is an Arsenal fan too, so no worries there.
Just 2
Guys,
years, me no want out.
Munchie, anything you want to say quickly, like a minute?
Yeah, just that. Yeah, looking forward for next week, and
You know we're gonna have more shows, right?
I'm gonna
God's
say,
willing.
no, I'm ready. Like, yo, I'm ready,
I
dog.
say they're ready for Tottenham too.
Munchie, you have Thursday,
I
you
say
have
they're ready for
Monday.
Tottenham too.
I'm saying, bro.
I'm
I
ready.
say they're ready for Tottenham too. Remember deal in place and you on record. Remember and deal in place and you on record. So hope you don't buy your Arsenal shot.
But remember, there's 2 games in that deal. Just to let you know.
Remember me tell make sure you don't buy your Arsenal shot.
Yo, me not getting a you and solo argument, right? I mean, I jump up and say, I bang and all that. I think now it's prime time to play all. I'm confident that once I go out and play to our potential and play how we play football, I can bang you. But we make it on the Munchie, you and Cello had this beef back and forth, right? But Munchie, if I bang you next week Wednesday, you get sick of me, What you guitar? You make you don't know.
I think to be honest, in Munchie is in his mind, there was a part in his mind what's that's telling him, yeah boy, Arsenal real trouble now, Arsenal real threat now. But of course he's built an image of himself on Ireland fans that doesn't allow him to concede.
No, that's where the bulletproof mind come in. The bulletproof mind come in.
So I can work it more reasonable. More
Yeah.
yeah, credit, but more you can stick with the team. You have no problem with that.
You have a stick with your team.
Credit.
The
Yeah,
man
Only one man per
man,
Island fans allowed for jump tail.
the man a bulletproof mind. When the man don't tell himself in mind, this no shot there fire can crack the man's skull dog. The man a bulletproof mind
Hey,
dog. Have a load.
if I wake up on history, every time Everton get a new manager, they win their first game.
Here we go again.
City can't score this Spurs yard. So why the Arsenal City bang Arsenal since 2016 straight doesn't get their 6 points?
because
But you
there's
talk about
also
history. What make you just want to talk about recent history? When you can go
yeah,
back before 2016.
but bang Liverpool since 2018, right?
Mm.
We usually don't do good at a Crystal Palace yard name, and go we can lash them.
I don't know.
Teams tend not to do good at Brighton's home, including us. Go Brighton and not them 5.
Mhm.
So yeah, you can say maybe one record still in place, but there's also a lot of records that we broke this year. So we make this can be a next one.
Joe,
I'm telling you what Munchie probably be. Munchie in the Ronaldo phrase. You're not as good as before, but you know, so if you was back seven.
He's in denial. He's in denial.
but
No,
hear this, no.
And I think, guys, if when it does happen, I think Munchie will need a friend. So I'm telling you out here right now, you need to befriend Munchie.
You can lean on my
Right.
shoulder anytime. Lean on my shoulder.
I think Aiden will have a problem with that statement.
Lean on
Cello,
my
be
shoulder.
careful.
Let me
So,
let me
but
tell
boy,
you
see,
right.
By force game done now.
Let me tell you how we going to go, right?
Love the energy.
If City manages to lose this game, I don't want none of y'all to message my phone, but I know I will be there to answer. You know how we normally go. But if
Sure.
Man City win, you know the band ticket in. Yo, anyhow you tell it, the band ticket in unless the game drop.
facts.
Sure.
Yo, Leo,
Yo, me make a and tap me the nothing upon and tap me the nothing.
Yo,
man,
do not pass me in nothing. Tell out. Me you get fight. Good.
when Marcel get blown next week Wednesday, now go Facebook Live.
Come on, man. Even one thing, me no hide. Me no hide.
You know, if you want to know, Arsenal fans don't fear the no smoke now. And I'll go one even further. They said Arsenal fans are so not afraid of the smoke that they rather to come in and say we're gonna lose a lot more games than say say anything else. We don't dodge smoke. We gonna come and say something.
But
Even
Yeah,
though
right
it's
now.
crap.
Right now,
There
me
are
take
one
them boy a double
particular
agent
Arsenal
that.
fan. That one particular Arsenal fan, the call is to get tea. That Arsenal
Yo,
fan, the call
I
is to get
don't know
tea.
what it is, bro.
Hello,
I
me
don't
right
know
now,
what
me
it
start
is.
to wonder if my boy a double agent king. Honestly speaking, honestly speaking, can me tell you, yo, no
Joe,
matter how good I do, this man finds some way to find something negative.
What?
Joking, sir.
Yo, the man they kill me there.
Yo, I'm sorry. I will not be
Farah,
fighting. Solo. I
yeah,
don't
we
want.
don't end the show now.
I slap Brenton 5. I slap Brighton 5 days in the yard. Nobody else managed to do that. Brighton get one little scare here at the end, can then get one little momentum, me told me whatnot. Man, I talk about how so lucky and you know, we're so lucky to escape through this, and the beginning is the beginning of what I've expected. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
The man say there's no way we can win the game versus Manchester United. Either it's gonna Man United win or it's gonna be a draw.
A high
No way
scoring
we
draw.
win.
Yeah. Hey, look. Crazy
There
dog.
was one. Oh, when Casemiro got the red card too. The man say, no worries. Arsenal, I don't know why Arsenal fans so happy.
We
Watch,
lost.
they still turn
Yeah.
up.
Yo, facts.
I gotta reach out to my boy. And get him back and tell you to stay up late at night.
Yo,
Yeah, no
yo,
Jamal 5
me
out
not
there.
hide that. Yo,
Tell
me
her the
not
call
hide
is
that
to get
talk,
to the
no.
man
Big up
there.
yourself.
When the brain start freeze up, you start malfunction up because the coldness.
But Jamal is used to that. Let's leave it. We won't bring Jamal on the show to answer for his crime.
Okay, so
We won't
probably the
try him
cutter. Probably
right
eating the
here
cutter till the
on
mess with
Island
them.
fans.
Fuck.
What is it?
Probably
Next
eating the cutter till the mess with the cars. Whatever I want to know, me want if you do this.
Who else to do this, yeah? Who else do that?
My God. But I say not
So,
that
fellas, as usual, it was a blast. It was a really good talking to you. It's kind of therapeutic, I must say. We've been here now for an hour and 51 minutes, guys. I think this is the longest one.
Yeah,
All right,
trust me,
but
real therapeutic.
yeah, but it's always good. I
Yeah,
think what made it extra therapeutic for me, we didn't have Munchie for a long time, so that's a plus. Bulletproof brain was suppressed a bit. But guys, we come back again on Thursday, God's willing. I think Manchester United play. Oh, we gotta do that quickly. Manchester United versus Leeds.
3-1 Leeds.
The scoreline.
I think they beat Leeds because new manager gone, and I don't think they have enough time to really find nothing different.
I'm
But at the same
McTominay
time,
always bossing Leeds.
yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
2-0 Man United.
No, we're going to 11 points. You can't have that.
I mean,
But yeah,
I don't want that.
I don't see Leeds winning, so I can't win.
Yo, boy, you talk about level points now. If I recall correctly, do they not still play again before y'all on the weekend too? So if they win that game, they could be above y'all.
That's a good point. I think so.
So Joe, what you say? That's pressure.
That may show you. And them boy have the whole FBI unit to walk to them. I watch their ground right now. So me tell you, plenty of pressure all over.
Pressure. This is coming.
Man, you want to win that game, but Leeds go score and go, man. Man, you're 2-1.
Big up yourself, Akani.
Yeah, big up yourself, Akani.
Agree with Munchie. And 2 points behind league leaders. Just saying. You do your thing, bro. Hey, yo, Jelly, you can bang where you want to bang now. You know, I haven't even play again now. You do what's in front of me.
United title charge start again and end next week.
Yo, remember last time title charge start? Them
last 3 days.
Behind,
Yeah, but guys, like I was saying, it's been good. We come back again, God willing, on Thursday to preview the weekend's games. I don't think there's any games on Friday, so I think the games are on Saturday morning. If I'm correct. Yeah. So we'll be back on Thursday. Hopefully, nothing else big happens. Hopefully, Manchester City is not in the championship by next weekend. So they have a set-up on game versus Norwich or something. And then the Marquinhos will still running for them and score. No. Because that is what it is. But guys,
Burnley versus City.
Yo, but side note, I mean about I the other Arsenal fans. I said my partner today, bro. I would hate. Let's say City were to get the point deduction. I would hate to win the league like that.
Personally, I would just look at it. Justice has been served. If you have not been fair with your books and accurate recording of your financials, you do the time, you do the crime, you gotta do the time. I would feel nothing about it, Joe. Absolutely nothing.
Not like that. No, in terms of the fact
they put the asterisk like Liverpool, the COVID Cup.
Yeah, he put a little asterisk next to your championship. You know, then
Give
they say,
that asterisk.
Yo, don't worry, Joe. You know, United could just start the title charge too. So you're good.
Yeah, facts.
Give me the damn asterisk. Shaq shameless. Yo, bro, I do not care. I tell you, I was jumping up in the bedroom yesterday for Kane. I want to drink it all. Shaq so desperate for one. In the matter, bro, you're fat. You're spot on, bro. I am shameless. You are win the cup. Bad. Bad.
Did you get clip?
Clip from? Oh, what did you get? Haven't I been saying the same thing every year? You can go back and you can go back and find all them clips. All right, guys. So we see you guys again on Thursday, God's willing. We out.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.